Hey guys, and welcome back to Metroid Fusion. Our first task is to investigate Sector 1, which is basically a replica of the planet SR388, the true origin of the X parasites. Regardless of what I said last time, I'm getting it right this time, so it's all good.
I know earlier I did say I didn't like how everything was split up in Prime 3, but this game kind of does that as well, although with the excuse that it's all on the same space station, so it's not nearly as bad.
Well, they're kind of like focus testing these like parasites and whatnot. Do you like this desert region? Do you like this water region? Would it work well in a video game?
Do they have to listen to a seminar and then be pressured to buy a timeshare?
Other M kind of did the same thing, but worse, and I promise this is going to be the extent of us bashing on Other M, but Other M is kind of Fusion, but taken to an even worse extreme, if you will. And on that note, we're going to leave it there, so let's head further on into Sector 1.
Now this is your classic get used to your Metroid gameplay, first area. It's not too bad. You see a few familiar enemies, a few new ones here and there.
Oh, Jesus, that is one big sprite.
Yeah, I love how it was so big, like the pixelization got really bad on it.
Now, I am recording this from an emulator because, I need those save states if I'm going to be able to record a Metroid game 100% in an efficient manner. I've done my damnedest to make sure I don't miss out any power-ups. I don't repeat any power-ups, there's no, repeating footage, but if it does happen, I apologise.
Since you did record it on an emulator, were you also able to make sure, because I know some emulators aren't perfect in terms of, emulating, and with some graphical effects, like that fog we had back there, did you make sure that was as accurate to the actual game as possible?
Oh no, I went back and photoshopped that in. I've become pretty proficient at that ever since I made that one comic of, I think it was a Penny Arcade reskin, where it's just you shit-talking Balloon.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell, could you?
Okay, our mission here, as you could probably tell by the very strict computer, is to bring Sector 1 back to its fullest potential. So we've got to get the atmospheric stabilizers back online.
I like how the X basically took over the AC. No, we gotta keep this as a very cool temperature for us. Although that actually contradicts what we learn about them later on, so I don't know.
We're gonna make things really, really humid, and you'll sweat a lot.
Yeah, I imagine she must be sweating a lot in that suit since she's probably lost all of, the air conditioning units. I'm gonna assume those were in the shoulders, because why else would they be that big?
Try not to go into the super hot areas. We can go here, where there's just lava, and for some reason it's not affecting the temperature of the air. But, your suit isn't powerful enough yet, so try not to venture into any dangerous areas.
Also, don't go into lava as a rule, I find. I had to test that, but it turns out that's not a good idea. You should experiment with that and see how comfortable you get burning alive.
I wonder how the space pirates would react to seeing themselves basically be adapted by these parasites. Do you think they'd kill the mutations? Well, I guess the mutations would try to kill them. That's just how the X rolls.
Finally, a clone of me. Now, neither of us will be... Well, you know where that sentence is going.
Now both of us can kill the bounty hunter.
Well, I mean, Ridley's been cloned, how many times? About 400, I think, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't give a shit.
Oh, I'm starting to breathe a little better. I won't need the inhaler upgrade.
Well, I guess the suit has a sort of atmospheric regulator to allow her to breathe on different planets. Hopefully they kept that when they operated on her.
Yeah, that'd be a bitch. You try and go out into the vacuum of space. Game over, return of Ganon.
You just get a time says 3 minutes, that's it.
The biggest challenge is you just gotta shoot it in the right manner. Other than that, it's a nice, calm, casual romp about Sector 1.
Well, casual as you can get for a space station inhabited with fucking DNA monsters that copy your appearance, like the Thing from the film.
Yeah, well, what, you mean the film, The Thing?
Yeah, the X are basically a Nintendo-friendly version of the Thing. That's what they are.
Uh-huh. Now, I don't know the names of the enemies off by heart. I've got a boss guide, but for the most part, I'm just going to be basically calling them what I see and then tacking X on at the end, much like how they name the bosses in this game. These are space pirates, no biggie, but we've got, Bouncing Frog X, we've got Shooty Thing on the Wall X.
Does anybody even, like, seriously remember the names of Metroid enemies besides Space Pirates and the bosses? Like, really, let's be honest.
Let's open a straw poll or something.
Yeah, straw poll, because that's so accurate.
I remember when we played this through on, I think it was either my birthday or yours.
It was mine.
And I didn't really go for 100% there, and it was so much harder. It's like, you wouldn't think Metroid Fusion would be a difficult game, but the SAX, that really mean thing that was stalking us at the end of part 1, packs a major wallop.
Oh yeah, and we will definitely see what happens with that later. I never bothered to 100% a Metroid game, personally. Like, I pick them up if I'm nearby, if I can get them easily, otherwise I really don't care. But, yeah, Fusion can genuinely be challenging at certain points, so if you definitely want to test a skill, you should definitely try to low percent this game.
Uh-huh.
Now this is a good fake out.
I love that. The Chozo statue actually wasn't a Chozo statue at all. It was a Core X.
Now the only way to hurt this thing is to wait for it to open up its weak spot to shoot at it. And using the platforms, I think if you do it right, you can actually trap it underneath one of those, so you could shoot it while it opens, but its shots completely miss you. And trust me, you better master that technique, because it will become very important later on.
Ah, the charge beam. I was wondering where that got to.
Well, you took it from Mega Man, that's what I assume, because, you know, in Smash he can only do it when he's standing on the ground, which is inaccurate, and I hate that.
To make things really awkward, what do you think of the Mega Man and Samus pairing?
Awkward is a great word for that, actually.
It's unnatural. Unnatural is what it is.
I just don't even know why you would do that. Well, they both wear metal suits. It must be okay. It's like pairing Samus with Little Mac, because she showed up in his trailer. That doesn't even make sense, man.
Oh, I love getting more missiles, more energy tanks, just becoming more powerful as the game goes on.
Well, that's kind of weird. You think you would have to download those extra missiles, too, and so they could sell you the upgrade pack.
Come on, man. Get off the DLC, you bashing train.
I don't know why the X, when they take over these atmospheric generators, only cover 3 sides of them and leave the other one open. Do they need to breathe?
Well, the X are a mindless yet fair race.
That's true. It's like, we are a heartless race who will take whatever we please, but we must do it within the rules of the playbook. I'm glad they have one-sided switches, because, like, I can only imagine how annoying that must have been when trying to deal with them in the normal space station situation.
Yeah, we can actually get through there without, you know, having to be on the correct side with the switch later on, but that will require an upgrade.
In this game, the wall bouncing mechanics are different, actually. You can only do it in these narrow kind of areas. In other games, you would be able to do it up the one wall. And I've never been very good at it either way.
Well, I was playing on an Xbox 360 controller, and for whatever reason, sometimes it would just not read my input. So what I was doing there was I was changing to my keyboard, and it's kind of frustrating from time to time. That's just mostly from, like, an LP recorder's, you know, point of view, and God knows our opinions don't count.
Yeah, you know, just gotta deal with the troubles and tribulations that LPers have to go through.
Oh, Jesus. Please disable adblock. We desperately need it. Basically, how you wall jump is you somersault towards a wall, and then I think you hit jump again and then hit the opposite direction to bounce off, and you just repeat that until you get where you need to go.
Yeah, it's not really that difficult, but again, in some of the Metroid games, you can be able to do that up one wall, and that takes a lot of skill that I, quite frankly, do not have.
You should be shooting at all times, because honestly, why not? And also, staying on the offensive just helps, really.
The charge beam isn't really that great of a power-up, I think. Like, later beam upgrades will definitely be worth it, but here it's just kind of only useful for a few certain things, I find.
I was following a speed guide, and I think at one point I became desynced, and I had like 2 more upgrades than what I needed, and I really panicked, but I got to the end of the game and it said I had 100%, so fuck it.
He's becoming more MBM as the days go by.
Oh, Jesus. A bounty hunter's work is never done.
Now, they do have a good explanation for why they don't open the hatches, the colored hatches, is because by doing that, more X can flood into different sectors, and I get that, but they have to do it in order to make sure Samus gets the power-ups and she needs in order to clear her objective, so it's a good risk versus reward kind of thing.
And from, you know, a development standpoint, it's so you don't, you know, stumble onto a really tough boss and end up fucking yourself over.
Oh yeah, that's goes without saying.
It's a better explanation than Samus, no, I don't trust you. You're not meant to be in the sector. No, Tom, we're off that train of thought. Stop it.
Can I go into blue areas? Nope.
Not yet. Okay, so we're going to refer to the computer as Adam Malkovich, Samus's old commanding officer.
I just probably call him computer or whatever comes to mind, really.
You're such a tech racist.
I like how you think that's a term. That's interesting.
Well, it's pending, okay? Give me time.
After doing her first few elevator monologues, whenever I play this game again, I'm always expecting her to go into another one every time she goes down the elevator, and then she never talks to herself again, so...
Yeah, they're like few and far between, but this computer can't shut itself up.
I mean, it's got enough text to write with, so...
Sinek's mimicking you!
Oh, you spelled that extra slow to kind of build up the tension.
This is kind of awkward, since, they obviously can't play proper video clips and the like, since this is a GBA game. The action has to stop, a picture pops in, and then the text continues.
Now, does this kind of make me wish they had a direct, Samus fusion suit, ult, in Smash, so you can reenact SAX battles?
Well, you have, the colours of the fusion suit. You also have the colours of the light suit, which... Fuck yes, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes
It looks
represent.
good in that game, it really does.
I think you also have the Phazon suit, and I think there's a Dark Samus one as well.
The Dark Samus one in particular also looks really nice. If I played Samus, I would play Light Suit and Dark Suit, because those look amazing.
Well, that's what we're accustomed to doing in Metroid exploring, so don't you worry, you can let go of our hands and we're going to be fine.
No, I kind of doubt your ability at this point.
Samus has to get rid of the leash upgrade so she can go out on her own and be an independent bounty hunter who don't need no AI.
So let's see what we got in this sector. Yeah, this is a tropical. That's the sector, right?
I think you'll find it's Sector 2 Tro. We deal with
okay.
We deal with shortened versions of, the tropes and whatnot here.
I believe it's called Trope.
Fuck you.
Now that dates this playthrough, doesn't it? Oh, yeah.
Spiked Caterpillar X, my favourite enemy.
Yeah, like a really intimidating one, I suppose, but you need some target practice, so...
They come in like a couple of varieties. You have the bog standard red ones, and you have the blue ones, which I think move a lot faster and have a lot more health.
Yeah, but they also drop a red X when you kill them, and red X, heal you completely, so they can be worth killing.
Much like Red Bull, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, it's essentially the same kind of level design. They just chuck, different kind of things in the background and foreground to trick you into believing it's a whole different kind of environment. But you know what? I'm dumb enough that it works, so I'm cool with that.
I wonder if, the computer Adam, pumps in the music for each level through the speakers. Does I would guess they have, like a speaker system so they could send announcements to each other, but I guess, we might as well set the mood that way, right?
My databanks conclude that you would enjoy this music.
Now, I know you were talking about how, it's just the same kind of levels, but it's got different, visuals in the background. But, like I said, this game looks really good. I love all the attention to detail. I like the different areas. It does look really nice.
It wasn't, painted by Mozart or something, mate, and I think that's a music guy. Shit. I should have gone with Picasso or something.
Well, that's good. That's why, they let me make the comments, because you clearly can't follow through on that.
Green ones give you ammunition back, yellow ones for health.
I do like how sometimes they like to run away from you, so, when you're chasing them down to refill your stuff.
Tee-hee, catch me, Samus.
Let's just don't do that.
Yeah, mothball bombs.
I gotta meet the development team who's sitting down and coming up with this kind of stuff. Alright, we gotta program a bomb app for her.
Oh, the government has far too much time on its hands. We'll see you guys next time for some more Metroid Fusion.